Canadian Forces Base Cold Lake, Canada's largest and busiest fighter base, located 300 kilometers northeast of Edmonton, is also home to the Penhold Air Cadet Camp. During the months of July and August, over 600 air cadets from across Canada receive training at either the Cadet Survivor School or the Senior Leadership School. These two training establishments operate through a central command structure responsible for facilitating the accomplishment of each school's respective mission. This central unit provides much of the administrative and other support services required for the smooth and safe operation of the entire cadet camp. In addition to this, the overall aims of the Penhold Air Cadet Camp are threefold. The first aim is for each course cadet to gain an ability to positively contribute to their home squadron, local community, and to society. Secondly, there is the strong reinforcement of the aims of the Air Cadet movement as they pertain to leadership, citizenship, and physical fitness. And thirdly, a firm commitment to further the development of both staff cadets and CIL officers. In achieving these aims and in order to facilitate the missions of the two schools, teamwork, creativity, imagination, and constant motivation are key elements. Not to be mistaken for a basic level camp, the Cadet Survival School is in actuality a specialist course for air cadets between the ages of 14.5 to 17, with 3 intakes, each of them 2 weeks in duration. A total of 300 course cadets are prepared to cope with survival situations and ultimately to complete Exercise Open Sky. The learning process begins with the school's motto: hope for the best, prepare for the worst. This is simply one way of teaching new attitudes required for any survival situation. For example, "It can't happen to me" becomes, "I hope it doesn't happen to me, but in case it does, I am prepared." The first week of the course, the cadets undergo a series of theory instruction backed up by practical reinforcement. Throughout this week, the survival pattern is taught, and to be successful, it must be practiced in the correct order. First aid is another necessary skill to be learned. Outside of the survival pattern, but certainly equally important, is survival psychology. The course candidate must demonstrate the acceptance as a reality, the possibility that a survival situation could occur, and be psychologically prepared for such an occurrence. In doing so, the enemies of survival are explored in detail as well as how to cope with them, what the group must do to organize themselves, and what the individual must do to survive. As the end of week 1 nears and the survival pattern continues, the cadets will demonstrate their ability in tree felling, improvised shelter construction, campfires, edible plants, meal preparation, hunting and fishing, knots and lashings, passive hunting and fishing. As well, they will complete basic search and rescue formations and the various emergency medical care techniques required. It is only once a course candidate demonstrates a firm grasp of this training, which forms 40% of their final mark, that the cadet is allowed to advance to the next level. The trainees embark on an innocent day-long excursion designed to test their basic skill abilities. Divided into small groups of 4 to 8 cadets each, they are given 5 hours to complete the basic survival pattern, which includes shelters, latrines, fires, water stills, and ground-to-air signals. Test quickly becomes trial as Exercise Open Sky swings into full operation, and the trainees now find themselves in the middle of an indefinite survival situation. They will receive limited quantities of food and water. However, their training tells them not to consume any for the first 24 hours. They must now organize and lead themselves in order to successfully implement the survival pattern, as they are now on their own. The staff no longer interact or interfere with the cadets unless their health, safety, or general welfare is at stake. As staff members put it, they become like the wind, observing, evaluating, and maintaining safety. It is not long before the cadets fully realize just what it's like to be in a real survival situation.
Probably for me it was around day 3 when the group morale was really low because everyone was getting sick and no one had any energy left. There was no food and everyone was complaining. It was probably the worst time when you started really realizing that you had to prepare for a lot more.
It sort of clicked in when we realized we were here for a lot longer than we expected and we hadn't eaten, and that our shelters weren't exactly as waterproof as we hoped they would be.
As the exercise extends into day 2, what the cadets do eat is enough to provide for basic maintenance of their bodies, but the total amount of food fits within the palm of their hand. They must now supplement this with berries, edible plants, and whatever their snares might bring them. More water is either collected in their improvised water stills or by the lengthy process of purifying other sources. As part of the daily routine, trainees must maintain their encampments, perhaps making improvements to their shelters or signals and ensuring upkeep of their supplies, particularly food and water. Otherwise, conservation of energy is the order of the day, and they must now learn how to deal with the stress and loneliness of boredom. Waiting it out. Wait out for rescue. Wait for help to arrive. Sure enough, a rescue chopper does drop by, and if they've been proficient in choosing the correct signals and in constructing them, the rescue crew will find them dropping a feast of chicken and beef for them to cook up. But by far, the most popular are the chocolate bars. In the end, these cadets have learned that anyone can do this given the time to learn basic skills required and having learned the right attitude in how to deal with it. Skills, attitude, and leadership, but most importantly teamwork, are certainly cornerstones to success at the Cadet Survival School. The Senior Leadership School is another specialist course held at Cold Lake Air Cadet Camp. As a national scholarship, it is awarded to top air cadets all across Canada. From coast to coast, 280 course candidates embark on the most demanding 6-week course to be encountered in the Air Cadet program. And the Senior Leadership course will see them challenged, both mentally and physically. Above all, the course is geared to provide the course candidate with the ability to return to the home squadron and assume a senior leadership role. In preparing for this goal, the cadet is trained in 3 main areas: managerial skills, instructional techniques, and interpersonal skills. This is achieved using the Senior Leadership School course training plan, which provides for instruction in leadership, drill, instructional techniques, effective speaking, aviation history, first aid, sports, and range. Throughout the course, staff members encourage and emphasize the qualities which a good leader must possess. It is in this way that cadets learn to further develop their own potentials and styles of leadership. One of the greatest challenges faced by the course candidate is exercise Ducamus. This is a 3-day practical leadership field exercise, where each cadet is tasked with leading their group on one of a variety of mission scenarios. The aims of the Senior Leadership course are straightforward. Obviously, the overall desire each year is to produce the top quality graduate possible. But more specific to this, the course endeavors to have each cadet leave with a firm recognition of 2 basic ideals. The first is the responsibility to become the best you can be. The second is the responsibility to make a positive contribution to society. Keeping these in mind, any candidate attending this course must possess a personal desire to learn with a positive attitude and a desire to experience what it's like to be a leader and a member of an efficient team. Week 6 at last, and nobody wants to go home. Graduating cadets practice and perform the graduation parade of a lifetime, steeped in Air Cadet tradition. It's a magnificent display of skill, timing, and emotion. Immediately afterwards, the top 2 graduates receive an award parallel to their achievement, a flight in the back seat of a CF-18 jet fighter. And what about those responsible for staging the entire training experience? The staffs of these 2 courses operate not only under one central umbrella, but under one philosophy as well. They are a serious-minded group of dedicated and responsible personnel who distinguish themselves with the belief that to be deeply involved in the training the youth of Canada is a privilege, not to be looked upon as a job. Teamwork, positive interaction and reaction, as well as personal obligation, bring together the professional, sincere and safety-minded atmosphere that promotes creativity and imagination. It is this exhilarating combination of dynamics that formulates what you and I know as Cold Lake Air Cadet Camp. And now, with many new experiences behind them, many memories exist of happy times and challenges that seemed insurmountable at first but were triumphed over in the end. No matter which specialist course you may encounter at Cold Lake Air Cadet Camp, you will go home as a new generation of the team of emergent leaders.
We
were told that the staff was called the wind, and the wind kept giving us lots of hints to help us through our merry times of trouble and the good.
Well, it's helping me develop my leadership ability. It's helping me do my boots. My uniform used to be really stinky. Now it's getting up there, and my drill is really improving. It's just all around a great course.
Lots of friends. You became really close friends with a lot of people living together all the time.
I do the best that I can be here, and I make a positive contribution of society. Yeah, that's the two things of the camp.
For me, that's an honor to be here, and I want to give all that I can to be a real senior leader.
From Canadian Forces Base Cold Lake, Alberta, presenting the graduates of the 1989 Senior Leadership Course.
On vous présente maintenant, directement de la base des Forces canadiennes de Cold Lake, les gradués du cours de chef de file senior 1989.
white dress. Dave, you might want to get a shot of these three now. When they finish here, they're going to come together and then just come front.
The Michael Frisch Memorial Trophy was established in 1980 in honor of a distinguished instructor of the Senior Leaders course. Michael Frisch was a former member of the Royal Canadian Air Cadets 700 Squadron in Toronto and attended the Senior Leaders course in 1976. From 1977, he instructed on the drill staff. He was the senior drill instructor in 1979 and was planning to return in 1980 when an accident in the spring ended his life. The top march drill commander is Cadet D. Power from McLeod Flight. The next award will be presented to the top sports flight. I would ask McLeod Flight Commander, please come in front. The following award is presented to the flight which has achieved the highest standard in instructional technique. The top IT flight for the 1989 Senior Leaders course is la meilleure section en technique d'instruction pour le cours de chef de file senior en 1989 est la section McLeod Flight. I would like to ask Lieutenant Colonel Roberts, Commanding Officer for 410 Squadron, to please present the award to the top drill flight. McLeod. I would like to ask Major Pallett, Officer Commanding of the Senior Leaders School, to present the Top Leadership Award to McKeever Flight, la section McKeever. I would like to ask Chief Warrant Officer Walker, who represents the Base Chief Warrant Officer, to present the runner-up top flight for the 1989 Senior Leaders Course, Minarski Flight. I would like to ask Lieutenant Colonel Roberts, representing the Base Commander, to present the Base Commander's Award to the 1989 Senior Leaders Course Top Flight. And the top flight for this year is McLeod Flight. The 1989 Senior Leaders Course Most Improved Cadet is le cadet le plus amélioré du cours de chef de file senior et le cadet carrière from Hornell Flight. I would like to ask Mr. Harold Fowler, the National President of the Air Cadet League, to present the award to the most valuable flight members. From Odette Flight, Cadet Cayouette. From Gray Flight, Cadet Adams. From Hornell Flight, Cadet Vitale. From Minarski Flight, Cadet Austin. From Collishaw Flight, Cadet Bouchard. From McKeever Flight, Cadet Ward. From McLeod Flight, Cadet Petrie. And finally, from Barker Flight, Cadet Ambrosini. The next awards go to the top and runner-up top cadet for the 1989 Senior Leaders Course. Out of those 8 people, the 2 top cadets for the Senior Leaders Course 1989 will be chosen. Both of those cadets are going to have a chance to go for an F-18 ride sometime tomorrow or the day after. In addition, the top cadet will receive a free pass on Air Canada to any destination in the airline's domestic network and a set of presentation bookends courtesy of Air Canada. The runner-up top cadet for the Senior Leaders Course in 1989 is Cadet Ambrosini from Barker Flight. I would now like to ask Captain Daner, the Air Canada representative, and Major General Chisholm, reviewing officer for today's parade, to present the top cadet of the 1989 Senior Leaders Course. Je demanderai maintenant au Capitaine Daner, représentant d'Air Canada, ainsi que le Major Général Chisholm, officier de revue pour la parade d'aujourd'hui, de présenter le meilleur cadet de l'escadre pour le cours de chef de file senior 1989. The top cadet for the Senior Leaders Course is Cadet Vitale from Hornell Flight. Next up is the Stephen College Memorial Sword, which is presented annually to the Senior Leaders Course Graduation Parade Wing Commander. Stephen College tragically passed away as a result of burns sustained in an apartment fire on the 25th of October 1987, the day before his 19th birthday. Throughout his life in Air Cadets, Steve found friendship and was a true friend. Steve's friends have presented this sword to keep his memory alive and to remind us all of why we're here. And there's a saying that goes with this: I get by with a little help from my friends. All guests, we will now proceed to the march past in line, the RCAF march past. Et quand les